Hey everybody, welcome back to round 5 of Modern here at GameSwap Mason, and the final episode of Mark and Mario.
Commentate magic.
We've got Green-White Hatebears versus Storm. This is an interesting matchup, and Mario and I were just talking about this.
Yeah.
You know, Phil has Thalia main board, which is sweet here. He's got Leon and the Arbiter to keep like the Gifts Ungiven package from being too easy to do.
Right.
You've got a decent clock, and you know, just even mild disruption's just not bad here.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not sure how good Ghost Quarter is. Probably not very good. I mean,
yeah,
you maybe don't have enough. You maybe don't have enough removal for the
keeping your opponent off blue though can kind of help when they're storming off if they can't like.
If they don't have the mana morphos.
If they only have rituals, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Calvin being on the play is probably pretty good though.
Sure. So he's gonna lead with Serum Visions.
Looks like Phil does have Thalia in hand though.
Keeps both on top with the Visions. All right.
Let's see if Thalia is good enough game 1.
Phil's gonna lead with the Stirring Wildwood.
Yeah, I would like to see a Noble Hierarch there if you had it, but turn 1 Wildwood seems okay.
Second Visions for Calvin. He's gonna keep Baral on bottom the third Visions. Play a Shivan Reef. It's interesting. And Sleight of Hand.
So Calvin goes to 16 life here, taking a damage from Shivan Wreath.
So maybe he's gonna kind of like
Reef.
Actually, you know what? So I don't know if this is really a budget consideration, but recently I saw a deck list from like some guy who's really good at Storm, a pro player, who he's crafted as a mana base that's fetchless basically, but it's like everything's always untapped. It only runs like Spire Bluff Canals, maybe those Shivan Reefs and Steam Vents.
Sure.
So here's Baral, which I guess basically just negates Thalia.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of funny. Oof. But we do have the Arbiter here and a Ghost Quarter. Yikes.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Will it be good enough? You know, maybe. It does make you know, Calvin unable to cast Mana Morphos without another land here.
Well, he can't. Yeah.
So that's not bad. So yeah, this is interesting.
Oh, Caleb Shearer, yeah, that's the player, the Storm player.
Okay,
that,
Caleb Shearer, yeah.
Advocates for the fetchless mana base. That is not exactly the land that, that he needed.
Maybe that's why you do it. Maybe it's in the face of death and taxes. You do not want these fetch lands. So one thing I'll say is that the Stirring Wildwood can also be really relevant here. If Calvin does get to the point where he can Grape Shot for enough to wipe the board but not kill his opponent,
right?
You can't wipe Stirring Wildwood.
Now here's the Ramanop Excavator. So Calvin is on more of a
maybe
value-y green plan.
Yeah, maybe he's got sort of a full Ghost Quarter Tech Edge package. I know we saw Tech Edge last match.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Well, if he chains Ghost Quarters here, that could be pretty good. Yeah, this is brutal. If he just plays Ghost Quarter this turn and then takes out the Shivan Reef.
I agree, Thomas. This does look like a nightmare for Storm.
Well, I don't think it typically is.
Sure, but
this has been a fortunate series of events for Phil. I mean, I would guess the matchup is maybe slightly in Phil's favor, but yeah, this game looks like a nightmare.
Oh yeah. And here's an Eldrazi display. Wow, we did not see any of these cards out of Phil's deck last time he was on camera.
So, yeah, that's weird. Now, I doubt he has any actual Eldrazi. Probably just Displacer.
Yeah, just the displaced Blade Splicers or whatnot.
Interesting.
So I don't really think Calvin can win from here. I mean, he has no mana. Like
yeah, he literally has nothing.
You got Baral to block, but that's about it. And here's Ghost Quarter. And Coco. So
that's going to cost 5 mana. That's going to cost 5 mana. You need 5 mana of the company here.
All right.
All right, so we got it covered, guys. This is why I said earlier, I think we mentioned that last match.
Why you don't play Coco when you're...
yeah, I told you it was real. But I guess you can if you want to, but then you'll end up accidentally trying to cast it when you can't.
Sure.
So you can't company through a Thalia on 4 mana.
All right, we're getting in there for 7. I don't even think there's anything that can get Calvin out of this. Like what? He's so we're going to game 2. Jeez.
Brutal.
That was
just brutal.
That looked like death and taxes right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's death and taxes, literally.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. Well, so what can Calvin do here
To not lose?
So I think he just needs to on the play. He was on the play that game too, though, right?
Yeah.
I think you got to be careful about fetching, like always. But I think empty the Warrens seems that doesn't seem great here.
Yeah, I don't know how does Storm fight a deck like this. You just have to win before they get you locked down, I guess.
So Echoing Truth can be fine.
Sure. Bring in more basics.
Yeah. Apostle's Blessing could be okay to try to shield your dudes from path.
Yeah, but that was not the problem there.
No, but I think when you're playing against a
I mean,
heavy
maybe if he
Thalia
just has
opponent,
did they just play like regular removal on the board, like
they can play Lightning Bolt.
Angers maybe or something like that.
Yeah, Anger sometimes I think you could have Lightning Bolt. Maybe 4 Lightning Bolts coming in could be good. What's nice about Lightning Bolt in this matchup is you can actually just kill your opponent with it by chaining enough with Past in Flames.
Yeah. Unless life goes on.
Unless life goes on.
Oh, we are seeing those coming in here.
You think so?
Your opponent storms off, hits you for 20, your life goes on.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So I will say that Calvin can also make very good use of Remand here, being on the play. You know, if he remands his opponent's turn 2 Arbiter, and then gets all his fetches out of the way, and then drops his guy.
Yeah.
So remand's not bad.
I hope we see the life goes on stop the storm off. That'd be insane. Mr. Toe 06, thanks for the follow.
Mr. Toe 06. So it looks like Mr. Toe 06 probably founded his towing company in 2006.
Who knows?
So congratulations. I guess you guys had your 10-year anniversary last year. That's pretty cool. So do you do primarily commercial towing or towing for governments, like municipal towing? Let us know in chat what kind of towing you do.
Could be an acronym.
Could be an acronym.
So we'll see if Calvin gets equally as oppressed by the taxman as he did. He brought in the Blood Moons? I mean, I guess that stops Ghost Quarter. Blood
Moon's pretty good here.
Yeah.
Your opponent, if we see the Horizon Canopies, stops those in their tracks, stops the Stirring Wildwoods, and you can potentially take them off mana. I think it's fine, especially when you got cards like Mirror Crusader at double white and Flicker Wisp at double white. But then again, Aether Vial. So.
Unfortunately, Calvin is mulliganing to 6 here. Although
that's not great, but Storm can deal with that.
Right. So players are talking about ridiculous mulligans they've had. Apparently Phil mulliganed to like 5 or something earlier today, kept a no-lander, and then scried a land at the top with Aether Vial and ended up winning the game off of it.
That'll do it. Yeah, I mean, these lands can do that.
So we'll see if Calvin likes the 6.
Oh, I didn't quite catch the name of the follower there, but thank you.
King B15.
King B15. Thank you, King B15. Is that your bingo name?
Oh, Callian's mulliganing to 5. No. That's not gonna be good. That's not gonna be great.
Oh yeah, this is too bad. I kind of wanted to watch a good match here, but 5 is tough for anybody, even Storm.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, if he's got 2 lands, a Baral, and 2 Manamorphos or something, that could be fine still. But
yeah, I guess
that's tough. So did Phil keep 7?
Yeah, it looks like he did.
Yeah. Well, it's always true that the Storm deck can just try to cast a couple of spells, make 10 goblins, and try to get there. 10 goblins might not necessarily be enough against a deck with kitchen finks, but
we are going to 4.
Going to 4
on no lands.
This is brutal.
So this is even
zeros.
This is even worse as you know, Kelvin isn't super fond of playing on camera.
Yeah,
he says it makes him nervous, but he was one of the few games that was playing this last round. So
yeah, we had some trouble finding a match.
Yeah.
And yeah, we sort of coerced Calvin into playing. Now he's gonna hate us.
Yeah, he's gonna hate us.
I mean, he probably already hated us, but. Oh, his opponent let him take 5?
All right. That's good. That's good sportsmanship there. It's the last round.
Oh, okay. So they already agreed to a 15-10 split. So
right. Okay.
So it looks like 2 lands, Serum Visions, Pyretic, and then another card.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Phil does have his turn 1 Ether Vial.
And turn 1 Vial's pretty good, especially against the remand plan. If
So
you're
why
going to try
is-
to remand early plays, Vial's pretty good.
I guess Storm plays a Hallowed Fountain for Apostle's Blessing?
So there could be a few reasons. He could be playing Lightning Helix, but it could just be he doesn't have a Hallowed Fountain. Did you see a Hallowed Fountain?
Yeah, in his hand, I think.
Okay, I thought you just meant the Flooded Strand. Yeah, he might have that for like I don't know, Lightning Helix or like maybe hard casting a Ley Line if you have to. I don't know.
Yes. There's the second Ether Vial and as well as an Avacyn's Pilgrim from Phil.
Maybe like timely reinforcements.
That's possible.
I wonder if Stony Silence is worth playing in Storm.
Yeah, that could be. You definitely don't want to be playing Rest in Peace, so.
No, definitely don't want to play Rest in Peace. Could play a Wheel of Sun and Moon though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a Hallowed Fountain in his hand. He just played it. Alright. Are we going for it this turn? No, here's an Electromancer. So maybe next turn. No, maybe this turn. Calvin's thinking about trying to go for it here. I'm not sure what his hand. His hand looked like it was Manamorphose, Ritual, and Gifts. Which does work. He can at least get a Gifts package here, but then he might run out of mana. Well, he's going for it. Looks like he's getting out some dice to help him keep track. There we go. That's our red and blue dice. So we're filtering 1 and 1. Storm count is 2. Here's the ritual. Storm count is 3. So the storm count is not 2, it's actually 3 since he cast this Electromancer this turn, but alright, here's Gifts.
So this looks pretty doable.
I think we have to inform him of correct storm count, right?
So is it actually it?
It's
actually
4. He missed the Archaeomancer. Or
yeah,
whatever.
you want to tell him there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Storm is one of those ones where a judge would say you've got to be maintaining, the spell needs to revolve. It's not missing a trigger, it's the spell needs to resolve correctly.
Sure.
And so when it resolves, you need the correct number of copies.
All right, so he has 1 red left from this gifts package. He's going to go for the pile of rituals there. You got Manamorphose, each ritual, and a Past in Flames. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, seems good.
I think he might be able to do it here.
Yeah, I think so too. Was this on the 5, right?
Yeah.
5 hand keep.
So here's double ritual. He also drew a card off Manamorphose. He might be pinched for blue mana. But I guess once he gets his so now we can flashback Past in Flames.
So
Redo all of our
he's
rituals.
got a Manamorphose. That's key here. So he can.
He has 2 Manamorphose.
Oh, there are 2 in there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So let's hope he can draw the win con. Doesn't have the win con in the yard yet, right?
No, he's not yet found a Grape Shot.
or an empty. And if he doesn't have the blue, yeah, he can't gifts.
Well, he does have 2 Manamorphos in the yard, though.
Right, so yeah, you can filter for blue with those, yeah.
So here's the Manamorphos. Yeah, make 2 blue, sure. Stormcrown 11. Make sure we draw our card.
Very good use of these
There you
dice here
go.
by Calvin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is actually Calvin's first day playing Storm
yeah.
competitively, which is really pretty impressive because a lot of players their first day aren't this good. So I hope maybe he was goldfishing by himself for a while. That's
Sure.
what I've heard players recommend, that Storm players do that before they take it to a tournament.
He drew another ritual. There's another gift.
Yeah, so he's got the blue for gifts. So that's a big
Yeah,
deal.
I agree, Jealous. The pile that Calvin gave, or I'm sorry, Phil gave Calvin off of the first gift seemed incorrect to give him both rituals, because if you give him Manamorphos, Past in Flames, I don't think he has enough mana to cast it.
Is that right?
Yeah, or he maybe he had exactly enough mana to cast it. I'm not certain, but maybe, obviously we can't go back in time, but.
So yeah, you get a second Past in Flames and a win condition, right?
Yeah,
and
I
then
think
just
so.
like 2 Manamorphos or something. So what has he got here? Like Grape Shot, empty, Past in Flames, Manamorphos?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems correct.
Or maybe, yeah, something like that.
I think that's got to be what you do here. I don't think you have any other things you care to get.
So you gave him. All right, that's it. Yep.
Okay. So
All right. Wow, on the mulligan to 5.
Yeah, sweet game. I'm excited to see game 3 here. Obviously, going to be tough for Calvin on the draw, but
I mean, he won on the mulligan to 5, so
yeah.
the draw shouldn't hamper him too much.
So I wonder if he does have Lightning Helix. Did we see one in the deck there?
I don't know. I'm guessing the Hallowed Fountain is for Apostle's Blessing or for hard casting a Leyline of Sanctity if you need to.
So I was thinking maybe Wear and Tear, but you wouldn't want that here. But I wonder if there is Helix. Helix actually seems very good.
Sure.
You want it for
Or maybe
burn, affinity.
I mean, I guess you could like bring in some Pats out of the board, but like I don't know if that.
Yeah, that doesn't seem great.
You don't want to rely on the white mana too much.
Helix is nice because it just furthers your win condition, and also it's just an incidentally great card.
Yeah.
Whereas Path doesn't do much for you as far as your win con. I know that these decks sometimes play like 3 or 4 bolts in the sideboard. It'd be interesting to see them play 4 bolts and a Helix or something.
Sure.
I guess what's tough is if you're going off and trying to chain a lot of Helixes with Past in Flames, you have to continually generate enough white mana, which you can only do with Manamorphos in this deck, and then you're one up Hallowed Fountain.
That
could be tough.
I'm guessing there's 2 white sources though.
You think so?
Yeah.
It also depends on. I mean, how many fetches does he have? We know he has 4 Tarns, but we've seen 1.
I've seen at least 1 Flooded Strand.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I bet there's a Wear and Tear in there. So for those of you who don't know, my colleagues here at the store want me to play Commander, and I want them to play Tiny Leaders, and they just won't play Tiny Leaders with me. Like I said, if any of you play Tiny Leaders, please come to GameSwap and play with me, because nobody does. But they're telling me I should get the Wizards Commander deck.
You do like Wizards,
which I would be fine with, but I think I'd rather get the Cats deck. It's just the Cats deck. I mean, those are my colors. It's just not well supported. Like, what am I going to put, a Step Links in there?
Yeah.
My Commander step. I could put Scape Shift in there.
You could put Quasali Pride Mage.
I could.
So both players are mulliganing to 6 here.
Oh, again?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, yeah. Both players mulliganing 6.
Yeah,
though.
Calvin was, for those of you just tuning in, Calvin was on a mull to 5 last game and actually won. So that was pretty nifty. Past in Flames is a good card. So yeah, Phil I think just wants to have that Thalia.
Yeah.
And
Thalia or the Mana Denial like he did game 1.
Sure. It seems kind of silly, but do you think Phil would want like Sunlance if he has it to just try to kill Baral and Electromancer?
Yeah.
I would say.
I mean, it was actually really interesting that game. Calvin stormed off on turn 3, the turn he played his mana guy, which is not very usual.
So, yeah, and Sunlance, you couldn't even hit that because Sunlance is a sorcery only. So yeah, you're right though. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunlance is a real bad card, but some of these decks play it just out of necessity.
Yeah, I actually had some. So when I had somebody try to Sunlance a Baneslayer Angel once.
You can't do that.
Well, for this it was a comedy of errors. First off he had blocked with some flyer. he thought that damage had gone on the Baneslayer Angel,
Yeah,
but
it
it didn't because it has first strike. And then he tried to.
No, Mario, you missed your first strike trigger.
He tried to finish it off with the Sunlance, which can't target white creatures either. So,
Yeah.
Regardless of the plan, it was not the way to do it. And it was a Death and Taxes player that did that. So
yeah, little known fact: a Baneslayer Angel has protection from Sunlance in addition to dragons and demons.
sure. I guess you could say every white card has protection from Sunlance, huh? Or a white creature.
Or Baneslayer has protection from every bad card.
Right. So if a oh, never mind. So did Phil then mull to 5 as well? It's a slew of mulliganing here.
Maybe he did. Well, if Phil mulled to 5, that's bad news. Hatebears.
Yeah.
You see what I did there?
I did, yes.
All right.
Bad news, Hatebears.
Bad news. I need a shirt that says that. Did I tell you I actually have a shirt that it's like a baseball-looking shirt, but it's like a green-white
A jersey, perhaps?
Well, like
Oh no, like a 3/4 sleeves, yeah.
Right, like 3/4 sleeves, yeah. And it's the sleeves are green and the shirt is white, and it says Bears like in a baseball-style font, and then
Wow.
on the back it says 2/2.
Nice, that is great. I have not heard that you had this. So Calvin let off with that famed Hallowed Fountain here into the Serum Visions.
Yeah, maybe we'll see that Lightning Helix. Who knows? Or maybe he sided into Jeskai control. Maybe turn 2's the Colonnade. That'll really throw his opponent off.
Sure. Phil did have the turn 1 Mana Dork in the Absence Pilgrim, and here is an Arbiter, but not yet any way to deal with Calvin's lands. Hopefully Calvin...
Oh, he's got a Steam Vents in hand.
He did not draw a fetch land, so that's lucky for him.
If that were a Scalding Tarn, we'd have a different game here, but Steam Vents is pretty good.
Certainly.
And this is why Leonin Arbiter is sometimes a worthless card.
Hey, it's still a bear. It lives up to the name.
Yeah, still shuts off Gifts Ungiven. That's not terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that seems like a huge cripple for the deck.
Yeah. I mean, you still get to search your top 4 and ostensibly still get some cards.
Do you have to have 4 targets for gifts?
Oh no, what am I saying? That's mine's. Yeah, no, with the Arbiter, yeah, he can.
Oh yeah.
But he can pay 2, and that actually doesn't seem that hard, right?
Well,
it
yeah,
just
it
makes you
does.
have one more card in hand probably already.
I guess, but paying...
Did he not play the Steam Vents?
I think maybe his plan is next turn play Steam Vents pay?
Pay for it? Yeah, but by that time, what if he plays a Thalia?
Yeah.
Then you're just getting more and more behind.
I don't know.
I don't know. I sort of like the Steam... Maybe he didn't have a play with the Steam Vents.
Yeah. Phil's just going to pass the turn after attacking for 3. Well, I do a basic island here as well. So his mana's not too pinched.
See now, what if he plays the Steam Vents and then goes to fetch paying 2, and then Phil
Mind
flashes in a
sensors in?
Mind Sensor?
That would
Get out.
Thanks.
I think that might be what happens here.
Yeah.
I don't see why else Phil would leave up 3 mana. I mean, it's not like he doesn't have another creature to play, right?
It looks like he's paying 2 for something. He might have a creature.
Okay, he's
We're
got a
just-
Ritual.
Are we just going for it?
I don't think he can go for it right now.
Oh, Blood Moon. Whew.
Well, that's a play.
Yeah.
And now he doesn't even have to fetch.
Although
he just has a mountain.
Oh, he gets Mind Sensed. He should fetch. Oh, he can't fetch. Well, now he only has red.
Man, well, we did have the Mind Sensor, but
Yeah.
not quite as good as Blood Moon. We'll see
maybe,
who's
but
mana denying who here.
Calvin's on a 3-turn clock here from these creatures, and now he only has red mana.
Sure. But if Calvin finds a Manamorphose, he can still go off.
Sure, and he does have the island in hand, yeah, that we saw him draw previously.
Oh, does he?
Interesting. So Phil left up the Abyssin's Pilgrim as a source of white mana. So yeah,
That's reasonable. So maybe that tells us Phil has the path.
it's possible.
And if Phil passed, Calvin would only get to search his top 4 for that basic.
Well,
So.
and he would have to pay 2.
Oh yeah. Jesus.
So you have to pay 2 just to search your top 4. That does not feel good. All right, Calvin falls to 5, and here is an Eldrazi Displacer, which we cannot cast because we don't. Oh no, we can't. We can't activate it. We can cast it. Yeah. Well, we'll see if Calvin can.
Is that a Past in Flames?
Can get there, but I feel like it's gonna be very difficult. He probably should have.
What's gonna make it tough is not being able to gifts.
Yeah, right. Unless he somehow finds 2 extra mana somewhere.
Well, even the searching for the top 4
Oh,
is what
right, yeah,
really
yeah.
shuts down the gifts here.
Yeah, jeez. I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna be able to get through that. What he may be able to do is like cast a few rituals, a Manamorphose, and then Grape Shot to clear away some of the creatures.
Yeah, that's right. If his hand was Manamorphose, 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 Grape Shot, that would be fine.
Or any number of rituals, but because then like if he kills Mind Sensor, he can. If he kills Mind Sensor and the Arbiter, then if he survives the turn, he might be able to do it next turn, but he has to use so many resources. I'm not sure.
And Anger of the Gods would be brutal here.
Oh, yeah.
So Calvin's in the tank. We see one ritual in hand.
All right, he can't win through it.
Can't do it. Well, that's a good match, folks.